Breaking news, everybody. Charlie Kirk has been shot. I'm making this video on the fly. I just got wind of the story. There's not much details around here, so I want to make the point to say that he's been shot. We don't know if he's going to make it or not. From what I've heard, I'd be surprised if he does make it, but we have to talk about this, right? Because if I'm being 10,000% honest with myself right now, I feel bad, but I feel bad for not feeling bad, right? It shouldn't come to this, right? He's an extremist. There's plenty of disagreements. There's a moral rift, right? There's a moral barrier. There's obviously a political barrier there, right? But it shouldn't come to just being shot out in public, right? But from what I've collected, this is the guy who said that death is a necessary evil for things like the Second Amendment to be possible. This is the guy who advocates for the political party that claims that gun violence is non-existent. It's a non-issue in America, right? I feel bad because I can't find it in myself to feel bad. It's a sad story, and I do wish him well. I do hope that he pulls through. At the end of the day, he has a fucking daughter that needs a father, right? But let's not forget that this is the guy that said that if that same daughter was raped, he would make her have the baby, as if he understood the pain that would cause her. I just think about the things that he would say if there had been an assassination attempt on Joe Biden, or if Kamala Harris had been shot, or I saw him when they were peeling BLM off of the pavement in D.C., and he was there with his selfie video camera smiling ear to ear and shit like that. So when it comes to police brutality and black people losing their lives at the hands of racist cops hiding behind a fucking badge, he can ignore that and say that every effort and protest and riot and rally and parade in the name of denouncing police brutality, he can say all of that is bullshit and cheer as all of these BLM initiatives are pulled back by the Trump administration. And then I, as a black man...
Hey everyone, and welcome to this channel. Today's video covers something absolutely shocking. We have reports that are coming out that Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA and a well-known conservative commentator, has been shot dead. Now, whether you are a fan or critic, this kind of political situation can be deeply disturbing, and here in this video we'll be diving into how America is reacting across the spectrum: the supporters, the critics, independents, and even those who didn't know who he was. So stick around and let's unpack this. Thank you so much. Let me get your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned.
It wasn't us. I'm making it very clear. It was not us. The suspect is in custody, and it is an elderly man. This is not what I expected. This was not on my bingo card. I thought it would have been somebody younger. Hell, I even thought it would have been a woman. But it is an elderly man. Now, Gavin Newsom says attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible in the United States of America. We must reject political violence in every form. I agree with you. But didn't Charlie say that, pew pew unalivings is unfortunate, but it's worth to keep the Second Amendment? Like, these are his own words, y'all. These are not ours. These are his words. Now, the news is saying Charlie's condition is unknown. We don't know if he made it. We don't know if he's in critical condition. We don't know if he's walking and talking. None of that shit. Now, I just got one question. Where do we send this man's GoFundMe? Where do we send him bail money? How do we put money on his books? I'm not joking. I'm dead ass serious.
I'm sorry, because am I actually seeing people say that they feel bad for Charlie Kirk? I know I'm seeing a lot of people saying that, oh, you guys shouldn't be saying this should have happened. The same man who said, oh, there's a cost to liberty. When you allow gun ownership, you allow gun death. Like, tell me we're talking about the same man. either people are talking about somebody else or they're fucking deluded. We're in a state of delusion. Like, yes, the world's fucking collapsing, but what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm supposed to get on here and tell everybody to offer thoughts and prayers to him right now. The same thoughts and prayers they offer to the students who died at these multiple mass shootings, while the party that is currently in control of the federal government still tells us that gun violence is not an issue. I don't have that in me. It bothers me that I live in a reality where I can't find it in me. You know what I'm saying? To feel bad about what happened to it, because the gun violence shouldn't be happening. He was just in South Korea talking about how safe it was over there and how you couldn't go outside and read a book in America because it's so unsafe and everything like that. But then he'll come back and advocate for the Second Amendment of right and just act like gun violence isn't a fucking thing, right? And then he gets shot, you know? And here's the important part. Pay attention to this part. This is the part I need you to pay attention to, right? This is scary, right? We just had that random senseless violence in North Carolina with the girl from Ukraine who got stabbed, right? Now Charlie Kirk has been shot, right? Donald Trump is doing this false pretense of crime being all throughout DC, and so he brought in the National Guard and he's planning to send it to other cities throughout the country, right? He's already said that, oh, Democrats are pro-crime now because we were speaking out against what he's doing in D.C., right? And how Chicago's standing up to him and shit like that, right? So he says, oh, the Democrats are pro-crime now. And then one of his biggest supporters, one of his biggest advocators just got shot, and he might not be with us. You know what I'm saying? I have already seen the tweets and the comments that say, oh, the Democrats and the left are going to the extremes. This is the party of violence. They are going to use this to their advantage. They might even go as far as using this in the same way that when Hamas attacked Israel, they've ridden that wave to implement an entire genocide, right? They are going to use this and mold this into the story of the Democrats on the left are so extreme and so pro-violence and pro-crime that they're taking out people they disagree with politically. Keep in mind, what was the Republican response when those Democratic lawmakers got assassinated by that person pretending to be a police officer? What was their reaction when people on the other side of the aisle were shot? I can't find it in me to feel bad when I think about the rhetoric that would come from Charlie Kirk and MAGA and the Trump administration and his cabinet and his team if somebody else were to get shot. After we've seen Donald Trump say, oh, well, we just need to move on. You ignore gun violence over and 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 over again. And then when one of those bullets hits you or one of those bullets hits one of your supporters, now the country is supposed to come together in thoughts and prayers. We don't know if he's going to make it or not. We know those students are dead. We know those parents lost a fucking kid. That's set in fucking stone. So yeah, I want him to live. And I hope that if he does live, he can take a look around and be a little different going forward, right? So when I ask myself, like, what's my reaction? I feel bad for not feeling bad. I can't watch all the things Charlie Kirk has said and done when he says bullshit like, oh, well, if you're having intercourse with the girl and it's all consensual and then halfway through she says stop or she says no, you know, that's a bit of a gray area. It's hard to feel sorry for people that say shit like that. Do I need to spend the next 5 minutes going over the receipts of his alludes to racism? Like when they killed Hitler, did people mourn, you know? It's a certain level. When Hulk Hogan died, did people mourn? Or were they like, fuck him because he's a raging racist that advocated for Trump? No. When Hulk Hogan died, was it not fuck him for being a racist and advocating for Trump? So if Charlie Kirk is on the other side, it's difficult for me to find sympathy and empathy and pain inside me, considering the things he's advocated and the things he's turned a blind eye to and things like that. You don't get to spend your life on earth advocating for and laughing at the suffering of other people on top of ignoring real life issues that they deal with. But then when peril and tragedy comes your way, you're looking at the world for a hug. And I don't know how to honor that request. I'm sorry. I hope he pulls through. I hate that we live in a country where
when Americans are angry, they turn to guns. Every single time. We've been trying to tell you that for years, for over 20 years, because children have been unalived in their places of learning over and over and over again by hurt individuals. So it has happened to CEOs of the worst corporations in this country. It has happened to our president. Now it's happened to Charlie Kirk. Now it's happened to a political figure, which tells us something important about our culture. The internet and media have made it so the political space has expanded drastically. And in light of this, so have feelings about and surrounding politics. They've expanded, they've grown, and they've gotten serious to the point where people are so distraught and angered by their political emotions that they have resorted to pew-pewing people. And I can't act like I don't understand that. I can't act as though that feeling and that result is not expected when the talking points of these social media figures have led to a culture based around hating individuals who look like me. We are seeing a drastic resurgence of marginalization and dehumanization taking commonplace in America. In our social institutions, places that were supposed to feel safe are now politicized in a way that hurts brown, black, and LGBTQ communities. What do you expect to happen? Charlie Kirk has been one of the biggest vessels in communicating this hatred. And now we're seeing a symptom of a deeper problem manifesting in the violence that was perpetuated against him. People are angry and afraid, and they don't like the direction that this country is going. And they don't know what to do about it. Blame the root problem. Blame the fascist culture that is taking over this country, that is making every other country look at us like we are crazy. Are you seeing it now? Are you understanding that something is...
Well, yeah, guys, we have watched it all, and let's start with this breaking news coverage in social media explosion. You see, this story hit Twitter first, with users from all sides chiming in. Charlie Kirk has been shot, yeah, and this is not the way to fight political battles. No one deserves to die over their opinions. And I can say this, people have failed as a society. Some of you all people are celebrating, yeah, and we can say celebration is not good in such a case, because I can say the people who are celebrating are sick. We need to rise above this such kind of violence. Yeah, it's good to be honest, and we may have disagreed with Charlie Kirk on a lot of things, but celebrating his death, that's just gross. It's gross, and no one deserves that. It's not just a loss for the conservative movement, it's a signal that our politics is turning into a war zone. Yeah, so we have heard how people across the country are reacting, from the conservatives who saw him as a hero, to liberals who challenge these views, and some who were just surprised. You know, some people have reacted. People have got mixed reactions, and we have conservatives who have spoken things that may be horrible, and you may not always agree with him, but such like conservatives spoke up for what they believe in, and this is a dark day for free speech. And we also have liberals who have spoken about this, and liberals, there's a liberal who said that Charlie Kirk spread a lot of dangerous ideas, yeah, but I will never want him dead. You know, yeah, violence like this only makes everything worse. Yeah, and then we have people who are independent and very much moderate. And when they say that I don't follow politics that closely, but hearing someone being finished just like this, that's just insane. Yes, guys. So, what does this moment tell us? First, that the political climate is way too hot. When you can't speak your mind without fearing for your life, something is broken. Second, it's up to us, the people, to cool things down, to stop treating politics like a death match, and remember, we are still citizens of the same country. Yeah, that is what I can tell Americans. So if you are watching this, I challenge you to do something radical today. Talk to someone you disagree with respectfully. Ask questions. Listen. Don't just argue, because if we keep going down this road of dehumanizing people we don't like, then things like this won't just be headlines, they'll be our reality. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, everyone. If this story hit you hard emotionally, politically, or personally, drop a comment and to hear from you. I want to get your thoughts. And if you value honest conversation in a divided world, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications on more reactions, deep dives, and commentaries coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video. And this video is meant for educational purposes. Yeah, thank you so much and have a next time. Peace be with you.